Bachman's Basement is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
Welcome back to Bachman's Basement, where we dig into the work of Stephen King, looking at both the original story and how it translates to the screen. Today's episode is a fun one because it's about as stripped down as King gets. There's no sprawling cast, no small town mystery, no layered backstory. It's a contained idea that plays out almost like a short experiment. We're talking about Battleground, originally published in Night Shift and later adapted as part of the TV series Nightmare and Dreamscapes, which we will be talking about. This is one of those stories that lives or dies entirely on execution. It's simple on paper. A hitman comes home after a job, receives a package, and finds himself under attack by a box of toy soldiers. And somehow, it all works. My name is Chris Patton, my co-host, as always, Chris Clawson. How you doing? What you been playing? What you been listening to? What have you been up to?
Doing really well. Been playing the new season of Fortnite, and the family got down to playing some Daggerheart last night, so that was really fun. The story progressed in a big way, so that was really fun, and I'm excited for where it's going. And it's always good.
How much money do I have to give your wife to make me the main villain in all of her heart? Like, what is the number that she gives me over 9,000 stats? Like, where I just show up as like Vegeta, and then you guys really have to put in some work against me.
I think that is a conversation for you to have with her. You have her number. Give her a call.
Well, now that I know it's an option is the scariest thing. I'm going to be like, hey, what if I'm like Beezerus?
Beelzebub. I don't know. It's one of those, like, it's a really cool story, but I won't get into it since a lot has happened up to this point. So, but it's just fun to sit down and make believe with your family, and then the roll of the dice determines how situations turn out. So it's on any given night that we play, things can go well or they can go not so well. So pretty cool. I'm enjoying it, and yeah, so that's sort of probably the biggest thing that's happened in the last week, honestly. Like, been a pretty quiet week for me. Just, work and home, and nothing too much to talk about. How about yourself?
For me, one, I'm very sad. All the things that you said sounds like so much happiness. Anyone want to play some D&D with me? You can hit me at it. Christopher.r.patton on Twitter and Facebook. No, I'm kidding. It's been a weird week, man. Like, kind of super busy and then offish so far. So, like, here's 20 hours of work crammed into 4 hours and then nothing. So it's been a little bit of a weird one.
Yeah, I get that, where you just feel like, you're living to work, sort of feels like everything that you're doing is focused around your job.
Yeah, and some of that is internalized, right? Like, I probably could have stretched it out, but I'm like, oh no, I gotta get this done right now, and then become like Super Saiyan me and do it in like 2 or 3 hours, and the next thing I know, I'm ready to, Goku pass out until somebody gets the sensu bean. This is the second reference I've made to Dragon Ball Z so far, so we're already above the limit of the Stephen King podcast. As far as things that I have watched, I watched Reservoir Dogs. Rest in peace, Michael Madsen, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal film. Everyone's
It's a
seen it.
banger.
Not a lot I can say about it, but that was the one that I walked in. It's not a horror flick. I didn't have a good B horror flick this week. But yeah, like, how do you feel about Reservoir Dogs?
I mean, it launched, in my opinion, one of the most interesting and greatest directors of a generation. So super enthusiastic about Reservoir Dogs, and it makes me want to go back and watch it because I own, I think, all of Tarantino's films except for The Hateful Eight. I think that's the only one I don't own a copy of, although I've watched it. And I think the reason I didn't buy a copy was because there was an extended version on Netflix for a while, so I watched that one.
You didn't buy a copy because you got scared based on who was in the store. Some guy walking outside made you wear a blanket.
Right. I mean, that one, we're going to go into this whole like Tarantino episode. We're just going to be talking about Quentin Tarantino films, but I love Quentin Tarantino. He's definitely probably top 3 directors for me. He's definitely up there. So many of his films have just really affected me in different ways. That, I mean, obviously, he's a auteur, and writer, director. His vision seems to be executed in a way that's just masterful every time. So yeah, there's not much you can say other than you either love it or maybe he's not for you. But man, I love Tarantino's films, and that one is certainly amazing. It's kind of bare bones, sort of like this story today. It's Tarantino working with a very little budget, and it still works really well.
Yeah, this the story we're getting into today is great, by the way, and has a great adaptation, which for the first time I feel really excited to talk about. But before we get there, I also love Reservoir Dogs. I think it's brilliant. I had the opportunity to see both Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction in theaters, and if anyone ever gets the opportunity, go do it. Both great flicks.
Heck yeah.
No notes. If I met Quentin Tarantino in person, I would hand him a napkin that said 100% no notes and just have him sign it. And a thing in my collecting catalog over here. But yeah, it's Reservoir Dogs is so brilliant. I love it so much. And then Jackie Brown's so great. Like,
the thing with Tarantino too is just like how much passion he has for cinema. And I mean, like, he just, he's only going to put something out if he believes that it's worthwhile. And I mean, that's kind of plays into the whole idea that he's only going to make 10 movies, which is kind of a bummer, but I get it. It's like, you might as well just make 10 great films and just call it good instead of continuing to make movies that maybe aren't as good. You may be repeating yourself in some way. So
did you see Kill Bill in theaters?
I saw both of those ones in theaters, and the Grindhouse films, which obviously was half of, one of the films was Rodriguez, but yeah, those ones were really cool because it made you feel like you were like, because I mean, I came along after the 70s, but that it felt like you were watching a movie in the 1970s. So that was cool.
Have I ever talked about my going to see the Grindhouse films story? Okay. So I went to go see the Grindhouse flicks. Which is great. I enjoy them. The rest of the story is this is at the Buford Mall of Georgia. So if anyone wants to go see some flicks, it's 3 stories high. You can go see it. It's a huge movie theater. They got IMAX, all of the things that people like. And I went there and saw it, the opening show, and came out, and there was like one. I think there was like one screening after, and I was passing by a friend that I went to high school with. He was like, "How was it?" I was like, "She has a fucking gun for a leg." It was awesome. And he was like, the whole time he watched the movie, he was like, "Well, I know she's getting a gun for the leg." And he told me years later, he was like, "You kind of ruined it for me." Now I know she's
It's on the poster.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, that's what I said. I was like, it's on the poster. I could have ruined it by being like, it's anyways, there's a 1971 Dodge Challenger in it, which is the Vanishing Point Dodge Challenger. And there's some cool stuff that I didn't go into all that, but great movie. I like Death Proof a lot more than Planet Terror. I know a lot of people like Planet Terror. This wasn't
honestly in retrospect, I do too. Although at the time I liked Planet Terror more. Over the years, I've come to appreciate Death Proof, and I prefer it over the of the 2 films.
I'm just a sucker for Vanishing Point, so I guess it doesn't really count, right? Like, you've known me for a long time, and the background of my Facebook page forever, the top header or whatever, was just that Charger from Vanishing Point with Kowalski just beaming down, which we actually have talked about in previous episodes. Listen to Roadwork, where I talk about Kowalski and his rage in the same way that the character of Roadwork. Look at that. Tied that back in there. You like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love the thing about Death Proof, not to drag on about Tarantino too much longer, but I just love that his love for stuntmen and the different ways that he works them into his films from time to time. I guess maybe only 2 films, but with Death Proof and then Pitt's character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I just think it's cool that he gives his props to the men and women that are stuntmen.
So when I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it was at Tarantino Theater in LA. And
really?
They showed that whole pre-script stuff. I hate LA, by the way. I'm sorry for anyone that lives there. I'm just going to be completely honest here. But I was there for work. And I got to see it in that theater. There was 2 people that got kicked out in front of us because they don't mess around at the theater that we were in. They do drinks and your little dinner or whatever, but like if you're like making out and stuff, they're like, "Hey, get out of here," or "You're on your cell phone."
Yeah.
But we they did they showed the stuntman footage beforehand. So that little short part that's in the Criterion collection that they showed that before the film. So it kind of got like an idea of what who the main character is really about with Brad Pitt's character in the movie. I can't think of his name right now. I love that movie.
Cliff Booth.
I absolutely love that movie, and I like if you're coming from last week's episode to this weekend, I love Leonardo DiCaprio in that film. It's so great, his interaction as being the old washed up Western guy and the conversation he has with that child and acting harder for the first time in quite some time.
Right.
Back is just it's such a cool character arc. It's really fun.
That is a great movie. I mean, honestly, my opinion of what is the best Tarantino movie, and I kind of sometimes think it is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I'm not sure.
Sometimes I feel like Tarantino is much like Kubrick, and it's the first one you saw, right? The one that you have the hardest connection to. So mine is always going to be Pulp Fiction.
Right, and that is the first Tarantino film. I saw it, I don't know, I was probably 13 or 14 years old. I was definitely at a very impressionable age, and that movie also just kind of redefined cinema in a way that, you know, where the out of order storytelling and multiple stories that all converge. Of course, it's been done to death now, but everyone I don't know, it's amazing how quick people forget, and that was a novel idea at the time. You know, that really hadn't been done in that way, or at least not in recent, you know, memory to that time.
Yeah, and also Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
There's so much good stuff in
It's
that.
so good. There's so many great actors in that flick. It's incredible. Like,
it revived a lot of careers, you know, from Travolta. I think it made Sam Jackson's career, you know, kind of gave him a superstardom, because although he'd been a working actor
for sure.
And of course, Uma Thurman, even though she doesn't have a big role in the film, I guess she's a fairly big role.
Has a very big role in that film.
Yeah. I mean, it's iconic. Yeah. I mean, it's some iconic scenes from that, are unforgettable scenes. Two I'm thinking of that I won't go into it, but yeah, definitely. Man, you just make me want to watch Tarantino films now.
Well, I mean, there's worse things you can do with your time than rewatch Pulp Fiction. It's so great. It's so good. And also the short story adaptation we're going to get into today, pretty good. Let's be honest, Chris.
That one, honestly, it rivals some. I mean, for what it is, you know, being such a kind of a neat and tidy, very small scale story, it's just so well done in a way that, you know, like I was telling you before we started this podcast, is just like it doesn't even feel that dated. I mean, there's little things in it that kind of date it to the time that it was made, but it's got a really high production value, and you got an actor like William Hurt in the film. So anyway, I don't want to talk about the film too much before we get to the story, but yeah, I guess maybe we should get into the story.
Yeah, so normally when we do these, I send you something terrible and I'm like, hey, watch this. I remember watching this and it was bad. This one I had not seen in a long time, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, let's get straight into it. We're talking about Battleground. It's a short story by the man himself, Stephen King. The story follows Renshaw. He is a professional hitman who has just completed an assignment in the story. He kills a toy maker, and he kills Andrew Cross, toy company executive, and he returns to his appointment like he would, or his appointment. He's got another appointment. He returns to his apartment like he does any other job. Not long after he gets home, a package is delivered. And he looks at this package. He's like, somebody trying to kill me? Because he's hitman, and that's a smart thing to do. Like, this might be a bomb, you know, like who's trying to take me out? He did not join the union. Point blank.
He's not John Wick.
He did not join the hitman union that Dan Aykroyd was trying to get everyone to join in Gross Point Blank. So anyways, he's cutting all the paper and he's looking at it and he realizes it is just a crate full of toy soldiers.
Little green toy soldiers.
So the story overview of this one is very, very short. It's a very short story. There's this terrible man named Renshaw who likes to, well, I don't say likes. It's his job. He's a hitman. He's
good at it. He's good at his job.
Like top tier, like $10,000 to talk to this guy tier. And for whatever reason, he's put on to kill a toy maker named Andrew Cross. That gets changed in the short story, but it doesn't make a huge difference. And he returns to his apartment, like I said, and he kills him, whatever. And he's like relaxing and chilling and vibing whatever. In the film, he's got this crazy apartment. This has to be the world's best apartment I've seen on the flight. It has like endless pool that goes both inside and outside with a sliding glass door. I'm like, how did they get that's like 90% of the budget right there.
Right. Whose apartment did they film this in? It's freaking amazing.
It's a sick apartment. When you guys go watch this, you're gonna be like, man, that is a sick. I wish I lived there. That's not what the book is not like that. It's more of a traditional New York apartment. It's got like a like your opening living room and then one room and a bathroom, like a typical flat. We don't get that in the show, but it's the story still manages to keep the same geist, I guess. So he not long after he gets home from murdering, package delivered inside toy soldiers, and very quickly it becomes clear they're not toys, and whatever has been sent to him is some sort of weapon. And the idea of the weapon is not the idea of the weapon, but he knows what might be happening, right? Like, because on the box, it gives you a list of details of everything included in said box.
Yes.
And now you got to fight him off. That's the whole story, Chris. How did you feel about this going in?
Honestly, at first glance, it's kind of like it feels like a throwaway story. It's like, it's kind of a clever idea. What if a hitman is tasked to fend off toy soldiers? And it just sounds kind of ridiculous. But man, it's just another testament to how Stephen King can take even the most ridiculous idea and just make it absolutely entertaining and believable. And yeah, this I enjoyed it a lot, and it's short. It's really short. It's like a 30-minute read, or if you're watching it, it's an hour watch. So
yeah, it's so fun, is what I will say.
Yeah.
Everything about the story, even as you're reading it, it is just so fun because like Renshaw is a terrible person, so you don't care at all. And when these little tiny soldiers show up and start peppering him,
right, with little tiny machine guns, and they're like little tiny needles, he's getting pricked with.
You're like, that's pretty fun.
Right. It's a escalation of of one side versus the other. And of course there's a lot of these little soldiers, and then there's just one of him. And at first he doesn't take it as seriously. It's like, it's quickly escalating, but at first he's like annoyed. He's like, what's going on? He doesn't even say anything. He's thinking all this stuff, but then eventually it starts to, really hurt, these things that these little tiny toy soldiers are doing. And yeah, anyway, I enjoyed it. And, in a way it's satisfying because it's such a compact little story.
So in the novel, he opens this package and he's like, okay. And he kind of walks away and they start forming a group, and the helicopter starts swarming, and he's getting peppered by in Stephen King's writing. He says it's like if you little pepper, like pepper, like a salt and shaker pepper, not peppers like a jalapeno, but like a speck of a pepper went through your body, right? And they're talking about it being like bee stings every time he gets hit. And he's like, oh my God, what is happening? And then they shoot a rocket at his knee, and he's like, oh no, my knee. His pants are on fire, and he's like, ow. And he crawls his way to the bedroom. He shuts the door. He's like, that'll keep him out for a little bit. Also, I got a gun up in here. And he pulls out his 45. He's like, I'm ready to go.
He's going to fight back.
I absolutely love that he's like, as a hitman, he's like, oh, his ride or die. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even question it. He's like, there was nothing about in the story, both the story and the film adaptation or the TV adaptation. There's nothing where this guy ever thought anything different. He was like, I guess this is what it is. He just lost loads.
He
Like,
just accepts that there's these tiny little toy soldiers that are trying to kill him, and it's on. It's time for war.
Yeah, he's like, we're going to war. So he
in his apartment.
It's supposed to be in the story. It's a 45. In the book, it's a 45. In the adaptation, it is more like a 1911. Like, at least in the story, I felt like it was more like a click, like a slow revolver 45 click, kind of big dirty Harry kind of thing. But that's just reading it right. But anyways, these helicopters, there's some bitches. So he's like, oh, it's like a gnat. He tries to slap one out of the air, and it cuts through his hand. And then he tries to slap another one out of the air, it cuts through his other hand. And then it aims down the sights. The rest of the helicopters, they're like, and he's like, holy shit, they're aiming for my eyes.
Right.
They're trying to take my eyes. And the immortal words of Terry Funk, R.I.P. Terry Funk, you took my eye, Lawler. That's what they go for. He dives over the bed. He's like, oh, this is like, he was not expecting this when he woke up, guaranteed. He flips the revolver out. He starts popping off shots at these, which, by the way, if you look below this guy, you're like, turn down the music. He's popping off shots at these helicopters. He gets, I think he gets the first two clean, and the third one he misses or something. And they restage. They go back and they're like, all right, well, we need to regather, which is worrisome. Right? Like, when you pop into a hallway and start shooting plastic planes with a gun, and they just go back to the little box and start regathering and coming up with a battle plan. So he makes his way into the bathroom, Chris.
Yes.
Bathroom.
And that's where he gets trapped for a while. And they're like firing like larger missiles, blowing holes in the door. And he's kind of relegated to the bathroom, and he's not sure what he's going to do, which, I mean, I don't know. It's just, you're engrossed in the story, and it's absolutely insane, but so entertaining.
It's so fun. And we're going to get into the I think the TV adaptation might be one of the best Stephen King things adapted ever, as far as like source material and staying true to it. We'll get into that. But so he's in the bathroom, and he's got like there's a little tiny window. He's like, man, my fat ass might not be able to make it out of here, but like, man, they're shooting rockets in through this door. So they shoot rockets through the door, blows up two open spaces.
But before sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to make sure that we get it in there. Before he makes his way out the window, one of the soldiers comes up and pushes a note under the door. And the note just says, surrender. And he's like, fuck you. He writes, never, or whatever he writes on the note, and pushes it back under.
I love that, like, never would be what should be written there, but he writes nuts.
Oh, that's right. That's what.
Which is great. But yeah, no, before that, they shoot like two howitzer, they shoot two missiles through this thing. It blows like double softball sizes through the door, and he's worried about the helicopters coming through, and one does come through, and he has a hand towel, and he's like, I got you now. He gets over the hand towel and knocks it out of the air. And in the TV adaptation, it goes even further, but like in the book, that's kind of, it calms down, like it's like nighttime. They all chill. They're like, all right, we know where he is. So the army has proceeded forward to this bathroom door. They got everything lined up. They're ready to go. He's like, I got to get out of here. And I need to get back to the porch over here and come through the sliding glass doors.
But he lives like on like the 40th story of a building. So he's really up there.
Yeah, he's by himself. Like if people have not heard what is happening in this apartment, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he crawls out the window. He does well first before he climbs out the window, he finds a little canister of lighter fluid. Canister is the right term for that bottle of lighter fluid. What do people call it?
I don't know. Yeah, just a bottle of lighter fluid, I guess, or container. I don't know.
So he tries to stitch himself up, and he climbs out the window with this canister or bottle or whatever you want to call it. A little metal can of lighter fluid. Zippo lighter, like think about a Zippo. You buy the Zippo brand lighter fluid, one of those. So he's crawling out the window, and he's 40 stories high, and the wind's gusting. And the way Stephen King describes is like, if one helicopter shot him in the butt right now, just the bee sting, you'd probably fall, which I thought was brilliant, like very brilliant in the way he detailed it. But it's like, no, they'll wait. Like it was so good of like the art of war kind of thing. And they talk about him like having to wrap around the building, and his hug when he gets to the corner, they say it's almost like he made love to the wall.
Right. He just like embraces the corner of the building. You know, I mean, like anyone would be, you know, you'd be terrified, an average person anyway, to be up that high and outside on the side of a building. So, I mean, that's also very entertaining, you know, in the story, him making his way around the building on a very tiny ledge. So, yeah.
And knowing that like one shot could, like really, like if they would get a rocket off there for some whatever reason, he'd be done, like falling to the ground, which they do describe in great detail, which is awesome.
But it's one of those, like, he's kind of got no other options, and it's like this is his best shot at getting the upper hand and, you know, getting out from being, you know, a cornered rat.
I think this is why I love this story so much, is like he's such a terrible human being as a hitman. Like they talk about the people he murdered, and they build up the story of how good he is at murdering people. And at the same time, you're like, oh man, he's really putting in work. You know, like he's very smart about what he does. So it doesn't come off as just like a goof getting attacked by a bunch of little green men. It comes off as a very capable person, and he's like, we're going to war. You know what I mean? Like he locks in, like this man locked in, like he's like, I'm about to win this Fortnite game right now. He locked in so hard. He's like, call me.
It almost kind of can be boiled down. It's almost like a video game. Yeah, you're right. Like the idea, I mean, not what's happening to him. Like it's very real. You know,
what's happening to him is ridiculous. Like
it is ridiculous.
If you woke up and this was happening, you'd be like, well, I guess I'm just dead now.
I would get out of there is what I would do. I wouldn't try to, you know, fight back. I would try to get out, you know, leave.
Which we'll talk about in the TV adaptation, because I think they do a great job of how you can't just get out.
Right. I mean, they've got him pinned to the backside of his apartment. You know, he can't get past them without them just punishing him.
He also, in the TV adaptation, he doesn't have a traditional door. He doesn't have a door. It's a, like security locked door that you go through, and there's an elevator, which is like kind of. We'll get into it, but so anyways, this motherfucker, he's hanging out here on the ledge, right? He's like, gotcha. I'm gonna come through. He's going to come in. The box is set in the middle of the living room floor. He can see the little Jeep circling. He's like, I got him.
And they all have their backs to him. He's like, perfect.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, this is what I wanted. Yeah.
He's like, I flanked him. Dude was like on the marathon run of his life. He's ready. He takes the little, the lighter fluid bottle. He pulls the cap off with his teeth. He rips his shirt, wraps a little bit of it inside that bottle, gets some moist, you know, he's ready. He's like, I'm going to burn down this entire apartment complex, basically. which is what my thought was when I read this the first. I was like, this man literally going to kill everyone in this apartment complex because it starts at the top. It's just going to go down. You know, everyone else is just having a normal day.
Right? And this guy's like, you know, sometimes the thought comes to mind, even though it absolutely does not suggest that he's had a mental break or anything. That's not what's happening. But the thought does come to mind as you're reading this. You're like, has this guy just lost his mind? You know?
I never thought that. I just like believe in like the gypsy magic of the toy, the toy owner. Like I was like, oh, it's like thinner, but like with toys. Like
Right.
I guess
Like,
you know, it's the Puppet Master. I love Puppet Master, so
yeah.
like I'm already I'm all in. I was like, no, this is believable. If someone sent me a random box of toys, Chris, I would be calling you. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do with these. I'd be so worried. If you send me like a random toy in the mail tomorrow, like I get it like 3 days from now, I'd be so worried. Man, what did I do? I don't getting random things from anyone in the mail you should be worried about, right? Like, but when you open it after all the speculation and it's just a toy, you know what I mean? Like, what? It's just a Napoleon Dynamite action figure or something.
Exactly.
Like, that's weird. Why would someone send that? You know, like, because it's haunted. Don't like it. So, anyways, getting back to the story, he made his way around the corner of the of the ledge, and he's back to the double doors or sliding doors to his living room. So everybody's got his back to him. He's like, ha ha, I gotcha. He throws the lighter fluid. Big explosion happens. Well, big. I mean, gas explosion. Big for the little people on the ground. So big, you know, flow. And he's like, I'm going to run to the front door. He runs to the front door. He unlatches it. He opens it. He tries to go out. Dead.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like the way it's described towards the end of the story where there's like a raining debris comes down to the people on the street. It's like his shirt is blown off and like, a woman's talking to the man that she's with. And she's like, we need to get out of here because, like the cops are going to want a statement from us and I can't be seen with you. Like she's having an affair or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, would have been the same thing for me too. If someone's like bloody clothes fell down on me, I was like, we need to get the fuck up out of here, guys.
Yeah, for sure. You would want to get out of there.
Like, yo, let's check out. But there's nothing left but that floating piece of shirt. He gets absolutely demolished, and the ending of the story is a little floating piece of paper that says what was the special bonus included
in the box,
which was a thermonuclear warhead.
It was a scale size. So I mean, it didn't blow up the whole building, but it blew up his section of the building pretty good and certainly got him. So mission accomplished.
I don't know that this is one of the best things that we've read from this collection of stories, but
it's satisfying in a way that kind of takes you back to being a little boy with toys,
Yeah, it's super fun, like it's if anyone that's out there that's like, man, I played Sarge's Army Heroes on PlayStation. That was a good game. This is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I was from that generation that I had those. I had one of those boxes of Little Green Army Men and played war as a kid.
So let's talk a little bit about the TV adaptation, which this might be the first episode of Bachman's Basement where we're like, you don't need to read the story. You really don't. Do you think that you need to read the story for this one?
No. Yeah, you could definitely just watch the adaptation. And honestly, I was saying it to you before, but I really do think this is one of those examples because usually it's the opposite where actually the adaptation trumps the written story and it's a Yeah, amazing. Like you get everything you would get from the written story, but better from this hour adaptation. You know, that what was that like on television in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this 2006, so we're a little
Okay.
up. We're a little up there. We're a little
Okay.
up.
A little further along, but yeah, I mean it really holds up. That's right, because I mean he has an iPod, William Hurt's Assassin. So
which
he's used.
they never tell us what he's listening to, which frustrates the hell out of me, but it's great. So yeah, Hertz is he lands, he's in his car, he goes down this lot, this toy lot or whatever. He is at the toy where we create toys or whatever, and he puts on his little white gloves, or his little latex gloves. He's like, I got him. And he shows up, and this is, for me, is the best part of all of this. The amount of like Solid Snake, hitman, Agent 44 shit that he does. So he puts his cell phone down and it makes a noise, and the security guard's like, oh, and it says, "This is a bomb." And the guy goes to grab it and throw it, and he just chokes him out. It's pretty good. He catches another guy on the stairs. He chokes his ass out too. Like, this is so good. Like, if you were thinking about this as a video game, you're like, this is exactly how I'd approach that kind of thing. Very
Yes.
solid. And he gets up to the office, and old boy already knows what it is. He's dead. Like, he dead. So he dies. And he takes a little keepsake. And when he gets back to his apartment later, you can see that he has other keepsakes, etc. It's not focused on or anything, but you can tell that there's like is it anagram? What do you call it when you have something signed by someone on metal? What's that called?
Isn't that are you just talking like the actual like signatures turned into like etched on metal?
Yeah, we'll say etched on metal because there is a name for it, but we're not going to remember right now. So,
Right.
So he's got like a little harmonica and this doll that he brought back, or this little figurine he brought back in the story, and all these other different figurines, and like a Hawaiian totem kind of thing. And he gets back, and while he's in the plane, this girl asks him for gum, and she sees the doll, and there's this weird interaction, but nothing happens from it. So you're like, it's not cursed. Yeah. So anyways, he gets home. He like opens his sick hotel, which, by the way, this hotel or living space,
It's his apartment.
his apartment is way better than what it is described as in the book. This apartment, man, this is an apartment that
It's like a millionaire's apartment. Yeah.
This is like big living apartment. This is like, it has one of those endless pools.
But you think about like
comes to the living room with a sliding glass door. So
think about a man that makes, who knows how much he's making per hit. But he's making a lot of money.
At least 10K.
Well, 10K is just to talk to him. Yeah. So he's probably making $100,000 per hit, and he's probably doing hits like, at least a couple a month. So he's making a lot of money. And then this is the type of guy that doesn't have a family, obviously. And so it's like, what do you do with all that money? You're going to have a nice place to live. So it makes sense to me that he would have a nice apartment that he spends his downtime in, enjoying, the finer things of life. Because why else would you be a hitman than other?
Amazing endless pool that goes out to the balcony and comes back in, which is just fucking Jesus Christ. Like, I can't even imagine what the rent would be like on one of those. This apartment, if you don't care about anything else of this story, check out this apartment. You'd be like, oh, this is sick. This
is like, to do the math, this is probably like at least $4 or $5 million apartment,
I love that he has like all of the most updated things that you could have in the apartment too. The stove, the microwave, everything. But
Right.
then they're like, we also got this garbage compactor.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he conks out on the couch, man. He's tired. You know, killing's hard. And
Yeah.
ding dong, doorbell rings or whatever. He wakes up and he's like, "Man, I'm so pissed." And he gets a package and he's looking at it because he's a hitman. You know, he knows. He's like, "Who's trying to blow me up?" Is basically what he's thinking. He puts it on the stove or the counter or whatever, and he's like,
The
looking at it.
table, I think.
And he starts cutting it with a kitchen knife and opening it up. It looks like an old school, like if you got shipped like something from the 1940s and it happened to you and you're like, this is a bomb. But it has like the old school, you know, the brown paper wrapping paper around it and the little bow tie. So he cuts all that off and he opens it up one at a time. And what it unveils is the metal footlocker of the soldiers.
And that, I don't know, like, I wish that they still, like, because I'm sure back in, like, the 1960s, that's how kids got their box of Army Men toys, was in a metal box, like an Army footlocker, but a miniature one. And, yeah, I just kind of wish that they still sold little Army Men in a metal container, like a lunchbox almost. That'd be cool.
I absolutely love the acting in this. The delicacy of this might be a bomb and the way he cuts through. It's so specific and in like tilting each edge of the paper.
And when he gets oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, there's no voice. Like like this is not if you're a person that needs like vocal interactions for a show, this is not the one.
This entire, I don't think that there's any spoken words in this entire thing. There's sounds, him like grunting when he is getting shot or screaming, but there's like, he never says a word, which is deliberate and it works so well in this story.
Yeah, it's definitely all entire inner monologue. But if that's not good, if you don't like that as a viewer, I'm just heads up, this is not going to be the one for you.
But it's a very unique approach to making a story where it's like this guy has, you know, he's not talking to anyone anyway. You know, he's just that type of guy. And then the fact that even when somebody's talking to him on the airplane, when he's coming back from his hit, the woman's saying he's got earbuds in and you can just see her mouth moving, but you don't hear anything. So then he understands what she's saying and gives her whatever, a piece of gum or whatever it was.
Yeah, she signs like a piece of gum. Do you have a piece of gum so my ears won't pop or whatever? She literally does like the sign for it, not like any conversation because he has his earbuds in, like you said. It's incredible. Like it's kind of like I didn't think about it that hard when I watched it. I was like, oh, well, you know, 90% of the movie is him fighting little green people.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went out of their way to make that a thing where he doesn't talk to anyone. There's no interaction. He's quick as the night. Yeah, it was very
honestly
cool.
You kind of, I'm glad I watched it because honestly, like, although you could read the story,
Chris
I feel
was
like
not gonna watch this before, and I was like, brother, I just watched this. Actually, it's pretty good. Bro, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I was like, man, if you only watch the first 10 minutes of it, it's worth a watch.
Yeah, once you start watching, you're like, oh wow, this is actually gonna be good. You can tell right away, like the quality. I mean, you got William Hurt in it, so I mean, this guy's I'm pretty sure he's an Academy Award-winning actor. So, I mean, I know him from like movies like The Incredible Hulk, the Edward Norton flick. But I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, and you know, he's a well-beloved actor and really good. And I mean, he puts on a performance in this that's very impressive, especially since he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, he can't say anything. It's just all acting. It's great. It's so good. This is like might be one of the best adaptations of a Stephen King thing if you're looking at it and it's a whole like holistic view of the whole item, it is spot on. So like
Like we
same
were
kind of thing.
saying,
He's in the fucking living room, right? Like, and he's like, oh no, and he darts. The only difference between this and the book is the bedroom ties into a bathroom because it is a very nice bedroom bathroom apartment setup here at the 40th story, which makes sense. You're the 40th floor, you're like big shit, right? So it makes sense. And they give us the mirror. So in the book, he pokes a little mirror out the hallway when he's getting peppered, like just so he can check on him. You know, he's like looking at the mirror, pointing down the hallway. You can see him. They blast the mirror that blows up into like 4 or 5 pieces or whatever. He catches shrapnel, and then he's like, "I'm done with this shit." He grabs his 45. Kyle's like,
doesn't early on he gets like a submachine gun, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he has one stowed away.
Wicked Jameson and gets the submachine gun out of the living room. He's like, before he gets to the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean it's an absolutely, but not like we could go on and just continue to talk about. But I would say just check this out because it's very entertaining in a way that's unique. Like I'd never seen anything quite like this, you know, as far as a presentation for the screen, and it works really well. It tells the story maybe better than the written, you know, than the short story, and it's done in a way that is just so unique. Like I don't know, I'm sure there are other movies that are made, you know, even after the silent film era, I mean, but that are silent, you know, and that's part of the gimmick of the story. But I mean, it just works so well in this one.
Yeah, and I can't. There's nothing I can disagree with on that. It's just so good. So he's in the bathroom, and you know, or bedroom bathroom. He pops out, takes 2 of the coppers down, same as the book. Hiding, they blow the door in. Same thing, big softball size goes around. The only difference really here is that he has no lighter fluid. He gets bug spray, which is super fun because as soon as you see bug spray as any normal person, you're like, oh, this man's gonna make a flamethrower, and that's gonna be fun. Right. Immediate thought. So he gets the bug spray. He's on his back porch. There's a grill. He picks up a lighter. And there's a little rubber ducky, and he's like, I'll send this thing in as a distraction. So he sends it through his endless pool or whatever they call them. I don't know what they call. What do they call those pools that just go forever?
Infinity pool, or is that?
Yeah, no, that's it. You nailed it. Infinity pool. So it's like a weird infinity pool with a dual door, and he sends his little rubber ducky underneath it. And like, wah.
And they're all distracted by it.
Which is really funny because it's tied back to the first thing he does in the movie, which is he throws his phone down and says, "This is a bomb," and the bomb sound is wah. It's literally the duck, which is fun. He pops in, he's like, all right. He grabs a fire extinguisher and he's like, all right, gotta blind these guys a little bit with some smog. And then he finally gets he's getting peppered the entire time by shots. Like he's his legs. And he grabs the bug spray, shakes it up, and he goes to the light. He's like, come on. And it gets better and better each time he does it. And then finally he gets it. And you just see like the most atrocity you've ever seen to little green G.I. Joes. Like they're getting melted and the Jeep is crumbling. And then meanwhile, the people with a rocket launcher that on the back of the Jeep, the other Jeep, they can't find him because they're in the fire extinguisher smog, which is great.
Yeah, I mean it just delivers on like everything that you want. Like if you read the short story and then watch the film, like it's like everything you imagine, but it it actually delivers it, in a way that's just visually satisfying and hilarious and also entertaining. And, it's just exactly like it's the best case scenario for a film adaptation.
So he thinks he's got them all done. He stomps them out. Like he finishes the people he smoke grenaded, and he fire flames everybody, or flamethrowers them. Is that what we would say here? Anyways, he sends down Satan's flames on them. And then he's just like, man, I just really want a beer. He gets himself a Grolsch, which are great if you're a guitar player. Get some Grolsch and take the red tops off, and you got yourself some strap locks. Unless you're spinnies and stuff, then you buy some like Scholars, or buy something more than just red bubble things they put on beer for if you're channeling your inner 2006 2007 hardcore band. But anyways, he's chilling out in this pool, and he's like, oh man, everything's great. I kill all these, which is to me is weird, because like my first thought would be like, I need to get the hell up out of here. After all,
I agree. He thinks he's accomplished. He's killed them all. He's counted them up and dumped him into the trash compactor, and then now he's taken his leave. He can finally relax. But honestly, like a man that's as meticulous with his work as this guy obviously is, you think that it would be, all right, I need to leave right now. And because obviously in the story, there's his inner dialogue in the written story, and his plan is to go back and find whoever sent these toys and kill them. But it seems that he wants to just take a moment to just relax, and because he just got back and he just really wants to relax.
And this is where kind of the story comes in, where he doesn't know the count of how many people are left, because it says on the front of the box. And then he gets, I guess, submarine shot at this point. I don't even know what happens to him in the endless pool, but he gets out of the endless pool. He got stabbed by something or shot by something. He's like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Kind of just like falls out of his pool, like kind of just tumbles out of his pool onto the ground, and you see that he's badly injured again. Like they got him good, whatever it was. Like I think it was just probably scuba units or something.
A missile to the butt, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Right in your chocolate starfish. Anyway, yeah. He decides this is a bad idea, and why was he here to begin with? And he grabs a security key, and which is what I would have done to begin with. Took those pepper shots, get the hell up out of here. Maybe he's not that good of a hitman, Chris, is what I'm getting at. But he gets on this elevator, and he's like, oh, it's finally, and it does such a good job. Whoever directed this did such a good job of going, this is the finale of this. And like it has like this closure feel to it, and he's and it's slowly going down, and then you just like
right, and it's not over.
It is not over. It is legitimately a little green Rambo, like like Rambo 2 Rambo.
A little green yeah, he's got the red bandana on, but the rest of him is just green army fatigue, and his body's green, and he puts just the lights out
and just goes for the Achilles immediately. He's like, let's make this man not walk again.
Yeah,
insane.
And then of course that there's the one-on-one battle between them, and he almost gets the better of him because he has him.
I think you're underselling it. So they're fighting on this elevator that's going nowhere because it stopped because Rambo already did the job, and then he sees the other elevator going past. Yeah, oh boy, Crenshaw, and he's like, "All right, it's my chance." And he jumps down and he lands in it. And he's like, yes, freedom. I'm out of here. And he lands at the bottom floor. And then you see Rambo just looking at him, top, just mean mugging him. And he jumps down. He grabs Rambo. He's like, look here, you son of a bitch. Because this is what I would do too if I had to deal with something little like this, as annoying as that was. He puts his little head between his head and arms.
The elevator doors.
And then he's like stabbing his hand the entire time. And he keeps pushing it. It's right between the elevator doors. So it slides like kind of like a guillotine. And you just go.
But he stopped, like the little green army man, like stops it with his hands. And then he's just like, no. And then he can't hold it forever. And then it closes on him.
Great. I love that.
Yeah.
He gets collapsed on. And then the guy's like, ha, 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 ha. And he picks up the body of the guy that just got his head and arms,
smashed.
Guillotined. And he's like, he thinks he's done. And like, neat. And he turns the body of the figure around and somehow is able to lift this little plastic backpack and is like, I love his reaction to it. The Crenshaw's reaction to it.
He's just like,
close to his crate.
He's just like
close to his chest. He's like, I'm done. They got me.
Nothing to be done now. I mean, like it's the bomb. So, and that's sort of like the tease for the end, because it cuts back to that box in his apartment and shows you, just like in the written story, where it's like a part of the packaging, but it's actually on the back of the box. It's not on the front part, where it's like extra included one thermonuclear device.
One thermonuclear device. And then the movie, it says one super soldier with a thermonuclear device or whatever. They revise it so it makes sense that Rambo's there. But it's great. If you like Puppet Master, if you're into little people shitting on big man, this is a good one. It is really, really, like, I did not remember this being as good as it was, Chris, and I was taken aback by how good it was. I sent you a message like after the hitman style kills at the beginning. I was like, man, this is way better than I remember it. It's like,
very entertaining.
It's pretty good.
That it's just expertly, all the people working on the production were really doing their job that, the days that they made this thing. A lot of love went into it, and the execution was perfect. So I'm really thankful.
Chef's kiss on this one, right? Like,
absolutely.
All right, so we're closing out the basement. Chris, tell us about your socials, etc.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Christopher Clawson. You can find me on Instagram, Chris_Clawson 1982. And that's about the only places that I live online. So how about yourself, Chris?
Check out Bachman's Basement. Obviously, you're already listening to it. You know you want it, your soul. Download it, like and subscribe. www.boinkstudios.com. It's got all your podcasting needs. Got sports, got Marvel movies, media, music, etc. I'm on a bunch of those. There's a heated episode of Tom Clark's show from Friday. Go check that out. It's really fun. Wrestling nerds get into doing wrestling nerd stuff, which was great. Yeah, man. I don't know. Outside of that, what's your score? What is your score?
Ooh, this one, I'm gonna probably go with, not to sound like a broken record, because this is the second week in a row. I'm gonna give this an 8.5.
I'm gonna give this a 9.1 out of 10.
All right.
And I will say the short story is great, but this adaptation might be one of, if not the best, adaptations of a Stephen King thing. It was so good. It's so good. So dumb. I know it has some TikTok clout to it, apparently, which I did not know going into the story. I was like, it's just fun. It's fun because Toy Soldier, when we were talking about doing it, I was, it's fun because like the little army men come to life. Apparently this had some like tailwind behind it that I was not aware of. So hopefully this goes viral. Make sure everyone shares and you know,
Heck yeah.
all that stuff. But that's it. We're closing the basement down, brothers. Renshaw spends his life threatening everything like a job. Clean, efficient, no loose sins, no faces, no consequences. Just another name, another room, and another exit. And in the end, that's exactly what it comes back to him. Not anger, not confrontation, not even a warning. Just something small, controlled, and precise, doing exactly what it was sent to do. Because sometimes it's not about revenge in the way you expect. Sometimes it's about balance. You take something off the board, and something has to come along to even it out. Sometimes the war doesn't follow you home. Sometimes it's already waiting for you in a nice brown package.